present, members of the Team Cummings 2023 present. We'd like to take this time to welcome all of you to this all-important press conference. Today's press conference will be addressed by Mr. George Wisner, followed by Ambassador Louis G. Brown. We ask the media to please cooperate with us as we'll be taking just 5 questions. 5 questions, let's emphasize that. 5 questions will be entertained from the media, and we urge all of us to please put our phones on silent or airplane mode to avoid distraction. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I have the privilege and honor to welcome to the podium Mr. George Wisner. As a matter of fact, Mr. Wisner is Deputy Campaign President of Team Cummings and Head of Mobilization of Team Cummings. Mr. Wisner, the podium. Thank you very much.
Christopher Hammer, based in the USA. My name is Jackson Josh. We are live in the conference hall of the CPP here in Central United States, where Team Cummings, George Wisner, and Louis Brown are going to be speaking on critical national issues. So my name is Jackson Josh. Welcome to African Foreign TV.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, last night at about 8 p.m., while performing his responsibility as spokesperson of Team Cummings and attending to a radio interview at the Voice of Liberia on Capital bypass, Ambassador Louis G. Brown came under attack from talks we believe to be associated with the Congress, with the Coalition for Democratic Change. These individuals, some of whom were wielding cutlasses in corners, behind buildings, some in open and plain view, with sticks and taps, with the intent of silencing Mr. Brown. Had it not been for the resolve of residents and the citizens of Liberia, who have identified themselves with the upcoming rally of the Liberian people to speak to the government, today would have been a different story. We want to begin first by thanking those brave citizens and residents of Capital Bypass who are resolved and determined to speak to their government and register their frustration, and who are also determined that the days where people are silenced because they proffer different opinions are over. We want to, on behalf of the standard bearer of the CPP and all members of Team Cummings, condemn this callous attempt on the person of Ambassador Brown. And we call on all opposition leaders, civil society leaders, the religious community, and our friends in the international community to join their voices in condemning this act. It is not just an act on a single person, but this has the propensity to ignite a chain of reaction that will undermine our peace and security. Liberians are tired not only of the mismanagement and misrule of this government, but Liberians do not want to visit the Auckland Pass. What happened last night? We lay on the feet of President George Weah and his lieutenants, now led by the Secretary General of the CDC, Mr. Jefferson Kochi. Mr. Weah ignited this flame when he elected to abuse his office by attacking and characterizing Ambassador Brown because of his different opinion and views about how the country is run. That public pronouncement by the president, and let us remind the public that everything rises and falls on leadership. Mr. Weah, as president of the country, who took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution and every citizen of Liberia, neglected his responsibility when he signaled out a citizen of Liberia, Ambassador Brown, because of his preference of a rival candidate to Mr. Weah. That signal has been picked up by lieutenants of Mr. Weah. Mr. Kochi, in the last few days, have drawn up what we believe to be a calculated plan to intimidate, to harass, and to frighten the opposition, especially the CPP, into submission. Of course, we know that it is a vain attempt. Of course, we know that this government has lost every moral will, and the Liberian people are determined to show them the door. They cannot frighten us. But what is scary is that this president, who has taken oath, will not only ignite a flame that has the potential to undermine the peace and security of the state, but will remain silent when his supporters and key lieutenants drum up these kinds of statements and threats and intimidation to silence the opposition. President Weah and his government have a constitutional responsibility to protect free speech. They have a constitutional responsibility to protect free assembly. This is non-negotiable in a democracy. This is non-negotiable. We cannot compromise that. This is a sacred responsibility of Mr. Weah, and we take seriously the attempt on the life of Ambassador Brown and all opposition that find themselves in similar situations. It will not be tolerated. I repeat, it will not be tolerated. And we will ensure that Mr. Weah and his government will either undertake and protect the Constitution that they swore an oath to, or they ship out and leave the Liberian people. They have already done more damage to this country in 5 years than any other time. They have reduced this country to nothing. The country is fast becoming a pariah in the eyes of the international community. While Mr. Weah leaves the country in flame, in crisis, when mothers are still struggling on how they are even going to feed their children this Christmas, Mr. Weah is partying in the face of the Christmas season that everyone looked to. What has Mr. Weah done? He's increased the prices of rice, basic commodity, without addressing the income situation. What more damage can he do? What more? Distinguished members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, if the mission last night was to frighten the Liberian people into abandoning the entire sovereign rally, it has just energized the Liberian. It has just strengthened our resolve. Let me say to Mr. Weah, to Mr. Kofi, and to this government, don't think your sinister plans against the Liberian people will go without consequence. The people are determined to show up. They will show up. They will rally. Civil servants in the last 5 years that you've reduced to nothing, made poorer unjustifiably, will show up. Market women that you've kept up 3 o'clock at night wondering how they will send their children to school will show up. Young people that you denied the opportunity of jobs and income, many of whom are now turning to drugs, will show up. Students, university students that have graduated have no prospect of a decent living will show up. The business community that you've made so much difficult by making the Freeport of Monrovia with your so-called cargo clearing, cargo tracking system and other bureaucracy that undermines the private sector, they will show up. As Ambassador Brown keeps saying, this rally is for the Liberian people. For those who for the past 5 years have had to endure your abuse, your immediate intimidation. This rally is for them. It is their opportunity. Even seditions that you have disappointed, those who were under the rain and sun for you, when you came to power, you abandoned them. You left them to fend for themselves. They are tired with you. They are going to show up. And you think you're going to rely on the police? Guess what? Even the police are waiting for you on that day. They will show up. You've already seen the signals. For the first time in our country history, as President of the Republic, you now have your own security details leaving you on a foreign trip, defecting. The Liberian people are tired. They've spoken. And on December 17th, they will show up. Again, I want to thank the Liberian people for their resolve. I want to thank the Liberian people for their steadfastness, and together we will ensure that our country regains its rightful place. Thank you very much.
So that was
George Washington, the co-chairman for Team Cummings, and also
Thank you so much,
Mr. Chairman for Team Cummings.
So, we're now inviting
Mr. Louis Brown, Ambassador Louis Brown, is about now to speak on his recent attack last night while he was on Voice of Liberia with CH-2 last night. So he's about to address the press issues that matters. So they invite other people to watch along and invite them to listen to the messages.
So I want to thank Mr. George Judy Wisner, a member of the Unity Party who supports, but also a member of Team Cummings, for that statement. Now I want to thank you, members of the press, for being here. I want to thank the Liberian people for their support, for their patience, for their understanding. I will be brief, which is uncharacteristic. Last night was intended to intimidate and to frighten me. Last night was intended to send a notice of fear. This government is scared. This government is worried. You know, when we were kids, when you do wrong and you know your parents home waiting for you to go home, you can be scared. Nobody needs to tell you to be scared. You yourself can be scared to go home. You know what's waiting there for you. Today I want to be clear, or clearer. President, we have started this. Mr. President, stop. Tell your people, your thugs, to stop. You should know me by now. I said it to your face. You were not qualified to be president. You proved it in 5 years. Trying to kill me will never stop me from telling you this. You are not fit to be a leader. And I know you're using little Koji. Young man, snot will not even coming from your nose when we're struggling in this country for freedom and peace. You cannot fear me. You can never frighten me. You are a coward. You men, come to my face. Don't send kids to get hurt. You are a coward. Hear me well. You say you send people to infiltrate us here having our meeting. You don't need to infiltrate. I'll tell you everything to your face, you little Koji. Liberian people pay you. The city of Mora pay you to clean up the place. Look at what you have created. You're not worried about that. You can't even do your job. And you want to frighten, you want to send dogs to make me scared? Something in me, Lola, I can get afraid of somebody like you. Snarly nose speaking like you. I know that somebody can be afraid of you. You stop. That foolishness you did here on July 26th, it will not happen again. Liberian people are resolved. And you think killing me will stop this rally? You are a fool to think that. We are actually helping this government by giving them the opportunity, by giving the Liberian people an opportunity to air their grievances, to be heard. This is what democracy is about. When snot were coming from your nose, we were here struggling to create a democracy for this place. And you think you can come here and use dogs to frighten me, to frighten others on this thing? Little Koji, be warned. Anybody on Team Cummings, not even me, you touch, thousands more will stand up, but you will pay, and you will pay dearly. Be clear. I'm saying my own. You don't go high in corner. You go in ghettos and places to say you're having a meeting to come attack. You little boy, behave yourself. Your job is to clean our city. You're not even cleaning it well. Behave yourself. On December 17th, the people of Liberia, you have made our voices stronger. The people of Liberia will speak, and you will never touch one of them. I dare you, I defy you, I defy the president. You popular, what you scared of? You're doing the right thing, what you scared of? The people say they're tired. A chance to speak to you, you want to intimidate them? We say peaceful rally. You let us you running all around. The people want protest. The people want to destroy the country. This is a peaceful rally. And it will happen on December 17th. And it will happen outside the Samuel Kanyo Sports Complex. And people will gather from their homes and walk there peacefully. The duty of this government will be to protect them. You better fulfill your responsibility to the people, or you will not be worthy of being called a government. A government that cannot protect its people for peaceful rally? Peaceful rally? You're acting like a little boy now commit crime or now you know that he has performed poorly also. He has not represented his family well. To go home now, he's scared to go home. The Liberian people waiting for you. You disappointed people, President Weah. You disappointed even your own border guard and security. Shame on you. Shame on you. You're able to job. Look, we'll take it from you democratically. We'll go to elections. We will beat you like old drum. You don't deserve a second term. And that's what we're saying to you. Instead of knuckling down and doing the right things for the country, you want to intimidate? You want to frighten us? You want to attack us? You went to your church. You lied on me in the sanctuary. Did I attack you? You got people calling me all kinds of names all over the place. Have I attacked anyone? You're a coward. You're not man. That little gossip you follow all around over the place. You can spoil my name as long as you want to spoil it. The people will turn out on December 17th. You will hear them. They pay the private plane you are riding, they pay for it. We need to stop this. Some of us, make no mistake about it. I'm not criticizing this government from Ghana or from the United States. Little Koji, I'm here. I am right here. Last night when we were doing all that childishness, I told it, man, in the studio, continue your show. Those are kids. Being misled. Harm me? You? President, I dare you. Which camera am I looking so the boy can see my face? Which one? Tell these little children, stop abusing and misusing them. Stop. You're abusing them. You're misusing them. You're misleading them. People pay too high a price for the democracy here. And you know, I get calls from some of my friends. They mean well. You know, you be careful. You're leading things. They're not normal people you're dealing with. We'll make them normal. They're not normal people. Abnormal people should not have power. We'll make them normal. When we start running away, then we give them power over us. These bullets are cowards. Little Koji can stand in my face and talk the trash he's talking. Lying on Milton Tierney and other people. I want them. Look. Let us try. We expect a peaceful rally. And we will have a peaceful rally. It is our right to have a peaceful rally. And we will have it where we pay for, even though I now know we should not have paid for that space. But we pay for it. Outside space. We're not even use the bathroom of the stadium. We're people in the grass. So what can be your problem now? Waiting about that space, we can go there. You gave us no legitimate reason except politics. And people say, oh, you know, they want, these people, they're not normal people. They just want to hate people. You think that you alone can hate people? You're not normal, we'll make you normal, we're straighten some of them. Look, government official, you will do your job. Your press people here at the last press conference, one of you here asked me, why are you people having rally? Remember that question from one of you. Why are you people having rally when elections supposed to be on, voter registration? You remember the question? So it will be on December 16th.
Yeah.
Yeah, ask the man. You yourself, you asking me the question. You sure? Few days ago, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, they canceled that one. Our election under threat. Our president globetrotting. Our election under threat. And when you look back at all our elections, there had, if any, there has not been a time, if any, that we have had even a bad election on time. They just postpone it. I asked the legislature today, take note. The election date in 2023 will not be postponed. You play all your childish games, you do all the things you want to do. The election day in 2023 will not be postponed. President Weah will not have 1 second more to be president of our country after the election day. You better have that election and let us beat you properly and send you back to Raxi that you're missing. Some people think the children can distract and disturb and make us scared and we'll run away. Me? The Liberian people? Too many of our friends and brothers, too many of our sisters, too many of our compatriots gave their life for us to not fear. A little Koji stalking us with death threats. Too many. They can call me all kind of things. I don't even respond. My only response, like Mr. Whistler just said, we are so resolved. December 17th, and we are totally united on this. The CPP will lead, and we are talking to every civil society organization, every religious organization, every civic society, we're even talking to the police. Liberian people would turn out. And they would turn out en masse. And they will speak to this government. Even though this government cannot hear. And now they're showing that they cannot see what people are feeling. We'll show it to them on that day. People will turn out. And will be outside the Samuel Kanyando Sports Complex. So, Mr. Wisner was supposed to address this press conference, but then I know somewhere was going to say, you know that I did the day last night, they made Ambassador Brown. Then they really don't know me. They really don't know me. I was the calmest person last night. Because I know they can't do gym thing. Nothing. They are cowards. You brave come to me. I was sitting in the studio, you knew I was going there. All of them knew I was going there. Then you put children together. You bring in people from all around the place to stop. The rally is December 17th. Liberian people, here is their plan. To scare you by thinking they can scare me. If you scared, stay home. If you enjoy, stay home. If everything okay with you, stay home. If you like the way the government running, stay home, brother. They're rallying out for you. If you bury more than you can carry, this rally is for you. If you're suffering and nobody can hear you, this rally is for you. And people say, when did the poor get? When they turn up, it will end their suffering. Yeah, it will begin the process to end their suffering. Because we know these non-leaders we give power to, they will only respond to what the people say. And as far as they're concerned, all of you enjoy it. You're in the market, sun up to sun down. The thing you enjoy. The children on drugs, the thing you enjoy. Our streets unsafe, the thing you enjoy. Civil servant can't take it, the thing you enjoy. And some of you civil servant, you calling me and say, well, you know, it will show up, the people will fire up. How much are you making anyway? $40, $45. Some of you don't even know your salary anymore. Every month it's changing. That is if you get it on time. This government is bullying the Liberian people. We will not accept it. People didn't die in this country for a careless government to come here and bully people around and frighten people. You think you can call me means and you will intimidate, or you put kids in the street to attack me and you will intimidate me? They will never. In fact, you made my voice stronger, sir. So we're ready. Liberian people, you have nothing to fear. This is a cowardly act by cowards. You have nothing to fear. You turn out, nothing will happen. I defy them. I dare them. We know they have people in the back, lurking in the back. We have our peaceful rally. It will be peaceful. The government will ensure that it is peaceful. And we will be in the forefront of it. And between now and then, we'll be in popular places. I am going everywhere across Montserrat to campaign for this and to rally for this. Little Cody, you want my schedule, I will send it to you where I will be, when I will be there. You don't have to be in the dark, you can't even sleep. Maybe that time of day you want to be now. Planning, conniving, conspiring, we'll be fine. Liberian people, you have nothing to fear. The government has a duty to protect you. If they're not normal, we'll make them normal. Abnormal people should not be running government. And when we get scared of abnormal people, then we become the abnormal people to them. Turn out. You have nothing to lose except to protect your country and the democracy that your relatives fought and died for. You journalists, I know plenty of y'all journalists, y'all be well impressed. Are you covering the program? Come, cover it. Because I know all of your tired suffering. You don't tell me in the corner. But it's not easy. But it's really not easy. When I let you speak on that day, because you're a journalist, you're president, that's all mean neutral. But suffering not neutral. Holy men, suffering not neutral. So I just wanted to make those few remarks. Stand in solidarity with Mr. Wisner, and I'm sure you have some questions for him. So go ahead. Thank you very much. Nothing to fear. Absolutely nothing to fear. I am smiling. I am as calm as cucumber. Nothing to fear. Thank you. God bless you.
Listen to Ambassador Louis Brown's
Thank you, Mr. Brown, for the strong words. Very serious comments
last night.
made by Mr. Brown a few minutes ago. So we are very clear about our questions. Please, one person per question. 5 questions. So we take FPE Obadiah.
Thank you very much. I have 2 concerns. 1, turning to 2. The first has to do with, I'd like to say good afternoon to you, Mr. Wisner. You just announced that the CPP planned rally stands for December 17th as evidenced by your pronouncement. I would like to ask you, we have a communication in our possession dated December 1st, and on the signature of the Acting Minister of Youth and Sports, informing you that the staff you dealt with previously was not authorized to receive money from you as per the invoice that was issued. Are you still going to use the facilities since the fact you have not been authorized by the ministry to do so? Another one has to do...
Thank you very much. One question per person. Please.
Let me just be very, very brief. We are going to use the outside of the SKD's post complex. We've paid for it. We have a receipt for it. We have a valid, but that receipt is a valid contract with the Ministry of Youth and Sports. We have no reason not to honor that. The rally will be held on December 17th in front of the SKD Sports Complex. That's the simple answer.
Thank you. Spoon TV.
Okay, Mr. Wisner, my name is Aaron Uba. While you were addressing the press conference, you gave credit to the residents of the community around the radio station where the incident occurred. But I noticed you failed to recognize the effort of the police. Why?
The police had a responsibility to protect, and we recognize that responsibility. But it is important to acknowledge the bravery and resolve of the citizens who got there first. You know where the radio station is, FOL, it's just less than a minute away from the police station. Many of you in the press know that, right? Just a minute away from the police station, a stone throw away from the police station. While Mr. Brown was in the police station, tension, in the radio station rather, tension was building up. Maybe the police was, some section of the police were waiting to see whether there would be clashes before coming to intervene. Not to say we discount the fact that they came afterward, but it was the ordinary citizens. Those who are tired with this thing. Those who will not wait to see the revisitation of the ugly past and to start now to send a guardian to this government. They are the ones who came first. We are glad the police came. Kudos to them, they came later. And we are glad that there were not clashes before the police came. We believe that the Liberian National Police have nationalistic, patriotic, and trained police officers, just as we believe that some sections will allow themselves to be manipulated, but we believe that the police will wake up and side with the people. That we believe. And just another thing that you should know, for those of you who covered last night, while we appreciate the police, did you notice the number of police officers that were sent for such a potentially explosive situation? Less than 10. But we thank them. We thank them anyway for showing up. But we thank our citizens, especially the residents. Our greatest protection is the Liberian people. Our greatest protection are those who want to see real change. Our greatest protection are those who are tired of suffering. They will form the human shield. They will protect this right. And I'm sure law enforcement will play their part, because they have to play their part. They have no choice but to play their part, because that's what is required of them, and we demand that from them. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, Jara TV.
Yeah, my name is Enelasha Jara, and I report from the Jara Media Group. So 4 hours ago, a communication was being posted on the Ministry of Defense page. Can you permit me to go through it, please?
You may not go through it, just
yes.
State the question.
Yeah, for the audience sake.
No, the audience will still know through your question. Let's pose the two questions, please.
So, Mr. Wisner, probably you went through it, or you read through it, but it is something that a caveat is being sent up for any group that's trying to cause violence or probably want to seize the peace of the nation before the election. And I'm sure that this message or this communication came out due to your plan December 17th rally. What do you make of this statement?
I don't know what you are reading into that.
Yes, that's why I said I want to go through it, and then they don't want me to go through it.
I don't know what you are reading into.
Okay, please go ahead. Just be fast.
Okay, it reads, a caveat for whosoever may feel or is disenchanted as we approach the 2023 elections to use the court system as was seen in the 2017 presidential and 2020 midterm senatorial election. If you decide to take the law into your own hands, disregarding the rule of law, regardless of your current or past status or affiliation, and if the LMP can't control your actions and or is overwhelmed, we will execute our constitutional duties. We will not allow anyone or a group of people to obstruct our high-end peace and democracy. We will support the LMP and relevant agencies to protect key installations where necessary. And this measure came from the Chief General, Major General Prince C. Johnson, the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia.
The Armed Forces of Liberia has a constitutional responsibility to protect the territorial integrity of Liberia. And I want to believe the AFL has trained and disciplined leadership that is conscious of that constitutional responsibility. I want to believe if there is anybody who is disgruntled, it is the government. It is Mr. President Weah and now his Lieutenant Kochi, who are whipping up the dust. They are a direct threat to the peace and security of this country. They are the ones who are disgruntled. All the Liberian people want to do on December 17 is air out their grievances. They want to state to this government that the entire suffering, and I'm sure all institutions of the state, including the AFL, understands that. Next question.
Yes, Vassali School, Prime Minister.
Thank you. Mr. Wisdom, I'm concerned since you announced the staging of this peaceful rally, we have not seen absolute endorsements from top officials or top-ranked political parties in the opposition. I want to be specific with political parties who were once a part of the collaborative political parties. That includes the ALP and the Unity Party that we are a member of. How concerning is that for what your idea is about concerning this rally?
This rally is for the Liberian people. This rally is for those of the masses that have legitimate concerns, but those who are fed up with the mismanagement and misgovernance of the state. I want to believe all true opposition will side with the people. This rally is not about political parties. We believe and we will be glad if political leaders, opposition political leaders, stood up to their true responsibility and side with the people. But we are not concerned or bothered as long as the people want to speak. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom. So we'll take the very last question from Dory FM.
I'm Jackson George and I report for Africa 24 Online TV. Mr. Wesner, I want to know, last night I saw a footage on social media where a guy got sustained a massive injury on his hand, where you see the blood running from his hand. I want to know, was he a member from your party? And if so, what other legal actions do we expect from you in the coming days?
Before I answer your question, something I wanted to go back to Vasily. Vasily Small. You know, Vasily, there comes a time when we all have to take a side. The line has been drawn. Every Liberian must take a side in this rally. Whether you are opposition, no position, civil society, journalist, marketer, student, everyone must take a side. It is time you either side with the Liberian people or you side with the government. This rally with tire sovereign rally, every one of us, those of us who want to represent the people, who claim we want to lead the people, this is the time to take a side. If you say because it is being organized by the CPP, so I sit down, that is, you are endorsing the continuous stealing, mismanagement of our country. When has it become important about who provides the forum for people to air their legitimate concerns? Any opposition leader who comes out at this time and say, oh, I'm concerned about who takes the glory, you are against the Liberian people and for yourself. This is the time the Liberian people will know who are just there for themselves or who are standing with them. This rally is for the Liberian people. The CPP has only created the platform, the forum, as a serious opposition bloc to allow the people to air their grievances. And we invite all civil society, opposition political parties, the Liberian populace, all who feel injured by what this government is doing to the people. If you cannot live up to that, you don't walk the salt in standing even the Liberian people and asking them for your vote. The land is doomed. It is not about CPP. Those opposition leaders must decide, and the Liberian people must demand, whether it is the practices of UP, my party, and I speak to them directly. This is about you in the last 5 years. It is not about the leadership of UP. Let me ask you, are you satisfied with the way the country is going? Are you satisfied that you have unexplained deaths, people stealing? Are you satisfied? If you are satisfied with it, stay home. But I'm sure it's not the UP that I know. It's not about the leadership. It is about you. It goes to the ALP and every other opposition. This is the time. We must demand our leaders to either stand up with the people or remain quiet and side with the government. This is the time. There is no in and out. You can't be in the middle. You can't be in the middle. This is the time. Those who've been playing games on the ground, the Liberian people will see. Those who've been pretending that they are with the people, but in the night they are playing games and siding with the government. This is the time. All of us must demand that we stand with the people. On December 17th, this is going to be a citizens' rally that will be led. We in the CPP creating the platform.
Just a follow-up. My name is.
The question about someone getting injured last night.
Yeah.
That person. I don't know who that person is. I haven't seen. If you know the person's name and the identity, probably, we walk around all the time. But I don't actually know. I haven't seen that photo. I don't know.
Decimo, my name is Delton Dolly.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wisner.
Mr. Wisner, just one question. There have been a lot of protests on the president. We
Thank
are.
you, Mr. Wisner. Mr. Wisner has already completed his full term of answering question period. So, for the benefit of the public, we will entertain at most 2 questions.
Yeah, Decimo.
Of Mr. Louis Brown.
Thank you. Thank you.
2 questions only.
Thank you, Decimo. My name is Delton Dolly, sir. Decimo.
2 questions only.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
we will take questions from people who have not asked.
Thank you, Decimo. My name is Delton
So,
Dolly.
Chogon, please.
Be careful, bro.
Yeah, Mr. Brown, you spoke like someone who has maybe certain farm power or medical power. You said the president of Liberia recently was accused of being a major partaker in the 14 years of civil war. Is that, should we expect that, that record, maybe that experience for your alleged participation in the civil war to die off the protest because you dare the president, you dare everybody. Like he possesses certain power.
I have the difference between me and you. The real difference between me and you is that I know the power I have. But you don't know the power you have. Because if you know the power you have, you're not asking me that question. And you're not making these inferences. As a citizen of this republic, I have the power and the right to peacefully assemble and speak to my government. That's all the power I have. You can refer it to 1980. You can, when I was even small boy, you can blame me even for the coup. They were not things that power giving me. What you're doing is breaking up the ruling. Let me warn you, you're breaking up the ruling coalition. Every time you're from the president to you, every time you refer to me as rebel, the ruling coalition can crack. That's all I will say to you. So you keep going ahead, blaming for 1980 coup, blaming for killing J.J. Rabble, blaming for the death of James Payne, blaming. You can waste your time, but you will not distract from the Liberian people objective. I have power as a citizen of this republic to speak to my president. When my president fails, I have the power as a citizen of this republic to say you failed. That's why when he tried to name a Nigerian to head our election commission, I was one of those voices that spoke against it. Maybe you are sleeping somewhere. But then you remember our rebel. You remember our rebel. But let me tell you this. It will not stop. Call me any name you want to call me. I should also find a name for. By the way, Judge, they calling us 3 Hebrew brothers. What they didn't know is that the 3 Hebrew brothers went into the lion's den and God locked the jaw. I was in a radio station. You call me Hebrew brother, then you put picking us out to attack me. God locked their jaws. Nothing they can do to me. That's where I get my power from. First from God, and second as a citizen of this republic. God holds my life. I have never bent my face in front of any man. I led a demonstration in Buchanan against the NPFL in the middle of the war. I do not bend my face or conviction to any man. I told President Weah in 2011 in a mutual friend's office that he was unfit to lead this country and be president. He holds that against me. That's for him. In 5 years, he proved me right. That he's unfit to lead. He has never been a leader, will never be a leader, and his one-term presidency is a failed one that will end at elections in 2023.
All right, I'm Julius working from Sky TV. After the incidents last night, we saw on social media, specifically a post from Representative Akaros Gray and Aloysius Harrow, who believed to be a staffer of Finance Minister Samuel 2. In their post, they said that...
Is that the same people who took some money from...
So in their post, they said...
I just want to read.
In their post, they said that what happened on 14 last night was orchestrated by you yourself, Mr. Brown.
Wow, in studio.
That's what they said.
Well, Akara was smoking at that time. When Akara was smoking by that time? No, let's talk serious business. Let's talk serious business. Akara knows better than to talk that trash publicly. I'm a peaceful man, whatever they say. And I insist the rally will be a peaceful one. And like Mr. Wisner said, so I'm not even waste my time with Senator was struggling trying to answer whether Aloysius got. So we expect Aloysius to say, Aloysius protected that small thing that he got from leeches. It doesn't bother me. And Akara's worried. 2023, that his last term in the legislature, he's worried. He's scared. He and his establishment, they're scared. They'll run scared. They're kids. He knows that. I will orchestrate against myself in a studio? Baloney. Let me. I want to make one last comment.
Yeah. The female, let's just give her the opportunity.
Before I make my last comment.
Yeah, the female.
Yes.
I am Madenisa for Truth FM.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so we continue to promote speaking truth to power with civility.
Correct.
So we cannot continue, Mr. Cummings now, in quotation, doing the same thing and expecting the same result.
Correct.
So you are using invectives on the president. I haven't heard Mr. Cummings in any statement or any time, using invectives. So I don't know whether he will be in support of what you just said, using words on the president.
I don't know what you call invectives. Invectives mean insults. There is the president and there is the presidency.
So which one are you referring to?
I'm referring to the man who has that title, whose duty it is to protect me, who is showing disrespect to the office. Because when he threatens me, he is not doing his job. His job is to protect me even when I oppose him. Especially when I oppose him. His job is not only to provide for voter wearing little koji. His job is to provide for those who cannot make it. When he fails in that responsibility, the Chinese people say the beginning of wisdom is learning how to call things by their real name. And let me ask you, do you know what they call people who can hide their head to turn rat and other people is scared of seeing? They call them cowards. That's why I call them cowards. I know who's doing it. Little Koji, on the orders of the president. They are doing this. They see this protest of the Liberian people as being against them. Because, just like I said to you, when we were small, when you misbehave outside, where you can be feeling when you go home, and your parents there waiting for you. In fact, you can be imagining the size of switch that the parents get. So they just scared of the Liberian people. Which brings me to this. So no, I of all person would never all invectives at the presidency. But when the man who occupies the office leave the people here struggling, suffering, threatening our democracy, we don't even know right now if we will have a new. In fact, the election schedule says we will inform you later. At this stage, they're telling you we'll inform you later. The man is not doing his job. It is disrespectful to him not to actually tell him the truth. That is what is disrespectful. But I'm telling him the truth. He has always known me to say the truth. That's why he doesn't like me. So I'm not insulting the Liberian presidency. I'm using true words to describe the action of the current occupant of the presidency who is unfit to be there. Go look in the office. He got gold chair, gold background, gold date. Even your own picture here is put it on the ground. Just look at picture of the office. Everything golden all over the place. But he hardly sits there. He's uncomfortable being there. So they have a low point here. We'll take it from all here in 2023. That's what they're afraid of. So no, we're not holding any invective at the presidency. We will not do that. But we will properly describe the action of the current occupant who is disgracing it. So let me end up on this note. Someone asked Mr. Wisner, leading opposition, they're not getting involved, or they're declining to be involved. Mr. Wisner is very correct, and I want to emphasize this point. There are only two sets of people now going into December 17th. Those who are for it, and those who are against it. If you are suffering, you are for it. If you are against it, you are for the government. There is no other third party, no third lane you can create yet. I hear some people trying to find excuse. Oh, they didn't call me around 3 o'clock in the morning, the time I was sleeping. So they said they didn't call me. Look, brother, you want to stay home, stay home. You don't want to be involved with it? Fine, the Liberian people will judge you. If you think You alone supposed to lead protests or lead peaceful rally. And say you're not leading this one, you scared that those who leading it will somehow take credit. I don't know what kind of credit you counting. It's your business. Stay on the side of the government. Stay on the side of the government. This is for the people, by the people, and we will stand with the people. We not for, look, plenty of people been pretending and doing all kind of things. Oh, our revolutionary. Some of the revolutionary been in America. When they cross the border, then it's strong. And that government, I'm talking to the government from in Monrovia. Now, what are they called? Who is strong? So let me say this finally, my people. We don't want pineapple that got no juice. We don't want no pineapple with no juice. And some people so selfish, everything will be about them. The Liberian people will see their true leaders. The Liberian people will see the characters of those who want to lead them. The Liberian people will determine who eats. And I'm not running for anything. Let's be very, very clear. Some people think, maybe Louis Brown. I'm running for nothing. Nothing. So you got no reason, oh, hey, Louis Brown wants some kind of credit. Credit for what? For little Koji there to be slandering my knee and lying on me and calling me all kind of things? How could you easily say, enough, I'm done with it. I don't need people to be lying on me and calling me all kinds of things. But the Liberian people deserve men who will stand up and speak for them. You want to be a coward and hide behind all kind of excuses, and you scared of the government, you scared of shit. Go continue. Collect your small thing. If I don't even want you, said you who come to us, then you go collect small thing behind us. We don't want you. If you pineapple, show your juice for the Liberian people. God bless you. Thank you.
That was the folks of Ambassador Louis Brown. If you are a pineapple, you should show your juice. And that was his ending statement. So folks, thank you so much for being there. My name is Andy Lawson.
Addressing the
media
attack that was carried out last night, according to them, by talks from the CPP administration. Saying if you are pineapple, you got to show your own juice. And of course, this broadcast has been sponsored by Ambassador Christopher Hammond, based in the USA, and of course, thanks to our dynamic CEOs, Antonin Corey, Julia Siki, for affording us the platform to bring you this broadcast on behalf of the team. My name has been Jackson George, and we've been live and direct from the conference hall of the CPP here in Cinco, United Street. And so, thanks for watching, thanks for the comments, thanks for being there. I'd like to say bye-bye from Monrovia. As I told you, Jackson George has been my name. Bye-bye.